All right. Hey, guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkes, and this is Your Best Life Defined. How you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Hope you woke up excited. Hope you're energized. If this is the first time you've listened to my podcast, before you go running away because it may be a little boring or it may be hard for you to listen to because, it doesn't apply to you, you might want to stick around for a minute. Because I'm getting ready to share with you how I know that I'm living my best life. How I can tell that I'm living my best life. So I mentioned in a previous podcast, my birthday is November 2nd. Kind of excited about that. We're not going to do much and I don't know what I'm getting for my birthday simply because my biggest fear is that I would purchase something and then I would not use it to its fullest extent. I mean, an example is what actually got me into podcasting is the fact that my other microphone broke and I was messing around with a microphone. I wasn't doing a podcast, but doing different audio stuff with a mic, right? And it broke. Well, now I have to spend money on a new mic. Well, I got scared because I got to thinking, well, what happens if I spend that 150, whatever it was for this mic, and then I don't use it? So now I had to come up with a plan for using it, right? Because that's really what it is when you can say, I'm living my best life. Because what you're basically saying is you have honed your choices to things that you value enough to engage in every day. So an example of that is all that stuff you have stacked up in your garage, all those things you have in your basement and in the closets, and all that clutter that's in your yard and around your garage. Sorry to say, but that is an example of decisions that were made that do not take you to your best life. Because if they were decisions that were made to take you to your best life, you would be using those things to enhance your life, right? I mean, I talk about kayaking and mountain biking. I have a really nice mountain bike, and we have some decent kayaks. And we use them. We use our mountain bikes, and we use our kayaks. And so on a regular basis, like every week or so, the kayaks, I use my kayaks all summer long. As soon as I got them, I was using them almost every day, or at least 4 times a week, right? That's how you know when you're living your best life. Now, if you have things, I call it clutter, but if you have clutter in your life, things that are you just move from here to there and you can't bear it apart with them, but you don't ever use them, you haven't touched them in years, it's just something that you identify with because it was yours. You bought it, you worked for it, right? I haven't picked a gift yet for my 59th birthday simply because I don't know what the hell I need or what the hell I want to such a degree that I would actually use it. I mean, I thought, well, I could get me a new video camera, but my video camera's working fine. I don't need lights. I don't need, we're talking about maybe the Ninja Foodi. Ninja Foodi might be cool. I don't really care for our RV convection oven, and a Ninja Foodi might just work. We've been playing with that back and forth like the power washer that I've been talking about, and of course the smoker. They make a small size smoker that I thought about having with us so that I could smoke meats and do other things, which might be cool. But the question is, I'm not dragging anything around with me that I'm not going to be using, right? Because it doesn't make any sense. I don't want to spend time moving stuff around. I want to spend time playing, and if I got a bunch of crap I have to move around because I don't need it, then I need to get rid of it. Back to you. That's how you can tell when you're living your best life. When your life is full of opportunities or events where you go from one event to the other and you're stimulated by that action. You're stimulated by that experience positively. You're not beat down. You don't feel like you've been drugged through the mud. You're not like hating on it or thinking, good. I know how you can tell. You can tell you're not doing something and thinking about all the stuff you wish you was doing. If you can eliminate those moments out of your life, that's a pretty good way to tell that you're living your best life. You're living a life that's built on who you are, what inspires you, what energizes you, and what makes you want to do those things. If you look at your life and take a look at the list of things you do every day, the things you need to be doing more of are the things that you think about when you're not doing them. The things you need to do more of are the things that you always manage to find a way to squeeze in. I mean, if you love golf and you can squeeze in 1 game a week, why not squeeze in 2, right? Hell, I'm sure there's something you do that sucks, that you don't mind saying, hey, listen, I'm not doing that anymore. I did it with cleaning cars. I mean, I still keep my truck clean, and I service my vehicles, and I maintain my vehicles. But I ain't out there rubbing on my truck. If I'm going to rub on something, I'm going to rub on my wife, right? I mean, I'm going to rub on something. I don't know, guys, come on. But that's how you know. That's how you know when you're right where you're supposed to be. You know, I'm walking through Florence. My daughter lives in Florence. We came to visit her, and I'm walking through Florence looking at the streets, and I'm working out, and there was a guy, an old guy, and he had this cute little house, and he had this pristine yard. And for years, I think he probably retired from some government job. Maybe he worked at DOC or whatever. But for like 30 years, as long as we'd been here, you drive by that yard, and that yard was pristine. And there wasn't a lot of extra stuff. Everything was in its place, and there was no junk, there were no leaves. It was all just pristine. That's how you can tell when someone is living their best life. That's how you can tell when someone wakes up and the things they do are the things they love to do. Living your best life is about adding more of those things to your life. One of the things I continue to add to my life, I wish I wouldn't sometimes, is struggle. I cannot resist the challenge. I think it comes from being a fighter. I think it comes from spending most of my life being a warrior and believing, gauging my physical stature against other people, right? Just, thinking about how tough I am and this and that. But I think it's about overcoming. But I just love it. This podcast, times when I just hate it. But I'm doing it. I'm showing up every day. And I think what I'm saying makes sense. I mean, think about it. Wouldn't it suck if you just kept going and going and didn't know when you was actually living your best life? Because that's truly what's happening right now. See, the story we've all been told is that own the house, be in debt, the cars, the stuff, all those things, and put as much of it as you can on social media is how you live your best life. That is what makes us happy, right, America? Yeah, right, world? Ooh, get more, get more, get more. Really? I don't know. I look around. I think like one of the best times I've ever had is driving those indoor race cars in Colorado Springs. I don't know what the name of that place is, but we went for one year for my nephew's or my grandson's birthday, and it was a blast. I'm thinking now that's some shit to do. That's how you know when you're living your best life. Or like Sandy and I floating down the Grand River or paddling upstream and looking for fish. And getting all excited. It's funny, I'm like a little kid in that kayak. I'm over there paddling along, thinking I'm stealthy, and all of a sudden I can see the fish, and you can look up, and if the light's right, you can see them, and they're sneaking up on you. You can see them, they're looking at you, and they're kind of swimming towards you because they don't know what you are, right? And then among that crowd of fish, I mean, those few fish, you see one big one. He's like the monster. He's like a big old monster fish. He's just swimming by, just wanting to let you know that river is his, right? And truly, I'm not arguing with that. When you can sit in that moment and not think about anything but that, about that amazing moment, that is a key indicator that you're probably living your best life. Now, just so you know, it never stops. It should never stop until you die. And it's unfortunate that for so many of us, we settled in, we accepted the fact that we're going to be fat. We accepted the fact that as you get older, you get weaker. We accepted the fact that no matter that we've done enough, it's time just to relax and drink beer. It's time just to relax, plop your butt down on the beach and not go in the water. Just sit on the beach and bake while you consume alcohol, vodka, tonic, gin and tonics, right? And I'm not do your thing. Enjoy your reward for your hard work. But that's not an excuse to stop. When you're living your best life, you wake up, and even though there's some crap you have to do, there's a bunch of crap you love to do. There's a bunch of stuff that you intentionally sought out, that you intentionally said, I wonder about this. And then you tried it, and you tried it again, and you realized, wait, that's pretty cool. Think I'll roll with that for a while. That's my best life today. Does it change? Hell yeah, it's going to change. It always changes. Just like the universe. It always changes. It always evolves. And if you sit back on your haunches and you don't change with it, that's when you stop. That's when you stop living your best life. And there's only two times. When you give up and when you die. I honestly don't know if I'm making sense to you, but I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm excited about the podcast. I'm really getting excited about the book, but the podcast has got me going because I'm in shock. I'm in shock. I can't believe that I continue to show up here and do it. Not weekly, not every 2 days, but every day. I haven't missed one for 191, and I don't plan to, only because if nothing else, I'm going to be famous for the fact that I was the one guy who did the most podcasts of anyone that sucked. I'm okay with that. I'm good with that notoriety. No, really, I've said it before. The reason that I show up every day in part is because this requires me to examine my life and not make any mistakes. By me looking at my life every day and asking myself questions about why we are where we are and why we're doing what we're doing, what it does is it keeps me on track. And I got that crazy idea a long time ago. I thought, well, why not share that with someone? Maybe there's someone who could use some of this. Maybe there's someone who is trying to figure out why their life looks like it does, and they cannot find the motivation, or more than that, they can't find anyone who is like them, who will validate their thinking. I'll validate it. I'll punch your ticket, man. This is it. It's a hell of a lot more fun and a lot more energizing to struggle for shit that makes you happy, that inspires you, than it is to do the crap you're doing right now. I guarantee it. I guarantee you can list 100 things that are a lot better than what you will spend today doing. And even if you're going to spend some of your time doing what you love, I guarantee it's not enough. I guarantee it's not enough. Does this mean you quit your job, buy an RV, and do what I did? No. What this means is you do work harder at your job to earn more money at your job, no matter how bad it sucks, so you can take that money and you can use it to do the shit I'm talking about. To do that stuff you love to do, to go to the climbing gym 3 days a week because you have no debt, because your cars are paid off, and you sold that big-ass house, and now you have a small house because all you realize you need is a launch pad for the rest of your life. You're not in that house because you love housework, because you're a better homes and gardens person. You're in that house because you need a place to get out of the weather, to rest up, to eat some good food, to take a shower, get some sleep, and then go back out into the world and do the shit you love. Right? You don't need that job. You don't have that job because you love that job. You have that job because you need the cash it provides for you to go out and do all that shit you love to do. Is that clear enough? I hope it is. Sound like I'm chewing your butt, doesn't it? Hope you're not getting that from me. But the thing is, I'm assertive. I just believe in this so much because we did it. We're in the middle of it right now. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And if you're not working towards something today beyond your life that makes you go, oh crap, I got to do that, but you do it anyway because you keep looking at the outcome, that you have a story built around it that's so friggin' amazing you just can't resist. I tell my son-in-law, Garrett, I say, hey, Garrett, why don't you become a pro disc golfer? Well, he's honest with me. He says it's not as much fun as hanging out with my daughter. It's not as much fun as hanging out with my beautiful wife. And he's right. He's right on track with that because guess what? According to Garrett, because he knows who he is, he's going after what inspires him. Going after the stuff that matters, right? So I hope you will too. I hope you will take some of this and accept it for what it is. I'm just trying to be me. I'm trying to relax and just settle into this thing. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing it for me. And hopefully with a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, you'll start heading in that same direction because you're running out of time. We all are. And in the end, we're all going to look back and there's going to be some things we wish we had done. So I want that list to be short. I want that list to be short for me and you. I hope you'll fall in line with this. I hope you'll talk about it, think about it, start thinking about you, start sharing my ideas with you and your partner and anyone else you care to, because I guarantee living your best life and having fun doing what you're doing and being inspired by the struggles that allow you to do what you love to do, that's where it's at. So keep that in mind. Don't forget to be kind. And as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.